Hello, Val Landi here, with two heard in the Milky Way stories that change our knowledge of planet Earth, our galaxy, and the vast cosmos beyond. Our first story is called Herod's Flu, or Homo sapiens as spaceships for ancient viruses. Is evolution a gradual process, as Darwin believed, or can transitional change occur suddenly in a violently brief time span, as suggested by Harvard biologist Stephen Jay Gould in Ever Since Darwin? Gould's vision is mirrored in a terrifying story of Darwin's Radio by science fiction author Greg Bear, and his vision of a species killer. The title is a poetic description of the core element in the story, that viruses in our genome function as carriers of evolutionary messages, a genetic radio, so to speak, or viruses as transporters of genetic information, in short, a species killer. In this prophetic hard science story of near-future fiction, the heroine, molecular biologist Kay Lang, unveils her theory that ancient diseases encoded in the DNA of humans can return to life, a story that has become a chilling reality. The haunting proof is evidence. A virus hunter has tracked down a flu-like disease that kills expectant mothers and their offspring. For years, writes author Bear, I've been waiting for nature to react to our environmental bullshit, to tell us to stop overpopulating and depleting resources, to shut up and stop messing around and just die, a species-level epiphany. I think this could be the final warning, a real species killer, a Herod's Flu. In this seminal thriller, anthropologist Mitch Rafelson has made an astonishing discovery in a newly discovered ice cave in the Alps of a mummified remains of a Neanderthal couple and their newborn, a strangely abnormal child. Kay Lang, the heroine, a molecular biologist specializing in retroviruses, has unearthed chilling evidence that the so-called junk DNA may have a previously unknown purpose in the evolution of life. Christopher Dicken, a virus hunter at the National Center for Infectious Diseases in Atlanta, is in pursuit of a mysterious illness dubbed Herod's Flu that seems to strike only expectant mothers and their fetuses. As the three scientists pool their results, it becomes clear that Homo sapiens is about to face its greatest crisis, a challenge coiled within our genes since before the dawn of humankind. Bacteria, lectures Kay Lang, are extremely important, and though in some cases cause disease, many others are necessary for our existence. Some biologists believe that bacteria lie at the root of all life forms, and that eukaryotic cells, our own cells for example, derive from ancient colonies of bacteria. In this sense, we may simply be spaceships for bacteria and viruses. So what are bacteria? Bacteria swap small circular loops of DNA called plasmids. Plasmids supplement the bacterial genome and allow them to respond quickly to threats such as antibiotics. Plasmids make up a universal library that bacteria of many types can use to live more efficiently. Bacteria and nearly all other organisms can be attacked by viruses. Viruses are very small, generally encapsulated bits of DNA or RNA that cannot reproduce by themselves. Instead, they hijack a cell's reproductive machinery to make new viruses. In bacteria, viruses are called bacteriophages, or eaters of bacteria, or just phages. Viruses are essentially roving segments of genetic material that have learned how to put on spacesuits and leave the cell. The paradigm that our heroine Lang presents is a hitherto undiscovered mechanism whereby the genome takes control of its own evolution, somehow sensing the right time to bring about change. I believe, she says, that our genome is much more clever than we are. It's taken us tens of thousands of years to get to the point where we have a hope of understanding how life works. The Earth's species have been evolving, both competing and cooperating for billions of years. They've learned how to survive under conditions that we can barely imagine. Even the most conservative biologist knows different kinds of bacteria can cooperate and learn from each other, but many now understand that different species of metazoans, plants and animals like us, do much the same thing when they play their roles in any ecosystem. The Earth's species have learned how to anticipate climate change and respond to it in advance. Get a head start, in other words. And I believe, she says, in our case, our genome is now responding to social change and the stress it causes. Does any reputable scientist support the proposition that the genome is a self-aware mind, able to judge the environment and determine the cause of its own evolution? Lang was asked at a lecture Q&A. Lang took a deep breath. It would take me several hours to correct and expand on that proposition, as she stated, but loosely the answer is yes. So fast forward to our COVID-19 world that we exist in today. Will the pain of this pandemic point to a new way forward? It hasn't before, as every war since the ancient Greeks attests. But the pandemic has slipped a piece of knowledge into the body public that may not be easy to repress. It's an insight scientists and poets have voiced for centuries. It's a voice that says that we are not apart from nature. We are nature. The environment is not outside us. It is us. Either we act in concert with the environment that gives us life, or the environment takes life away. No animal on planet Earth has had the capacity to modify its niche the way we have. Nothing could better emphasize our union with nature than the coronavirus. It's crafted by a molecule that's been omnipresent on Earth for 4 billion years, observed Kevin Berger in his article for Nautilus, Ecological Vision That Will Save Us. But viruses are not just destroyers. They wear another evolutionary hat, that of developers. Their role in nature is so successful that DNA and RNA viruses make up the most abundant biological entities on our planet. There are more viruses on Earth than stars in the universe. Our second story asks, could there really be other civilizations out there in the Milky Way? The Guardian's Nicola Davis talks to Professor Chris Conselice, whose recent work revises the decades-old Drake equation to throw new light on the possibility of contactable alien life existing in our galaxy. They may not arrive in a vast spaceship parked in orbit, but according to new calculations, there could be more than 30 intelligent civilizations in our galaxy today capable of communicating with others. Experts say the work not only offers insights into the chances of life beyond Earth, but can also shed light on our own future and our place in the cosmos. I think, Conselice says, it is extremely important and exciting because for the first time we really have an estimate for this number of active, intelligent, communicating civilizations that we potentially could contact and find out, is there other life in the universe? Something that has been a question for thousands of years and is yet to be answered. Conselice is a professor of astrophysics at the University of Nottingham in Great Britain. Basically, he says, we made the assumption that intelligent life would form on other Earth-like planets like it has on Earth. So within a few billion years, life would automatically form as a natural part of evolution. The assumption, known as the astrobiological Copernican principle, is that everything from chemical reactions to star formation is known to occur if the conditions are right. If intelligent life forms in a scientific way, not just in a random way, or just a very unique way, then you would expect at least this many civilizations within our galaxy, Conselice said. He added that while it is speculative theory, he believes alien life would have similarities in appearance to life on Earth. We wouldn't just be super shocked by seeing them, he said. Under the strictest of assumptions, where, as on Earth, life forms between 4.5 to 5.5 billion years after star formation, there is likely to be between 4 and 211 civilizations in the Milky Way today capable of communicating with others, with 36 the most likely figure. But Conselice noted that this figure is conservative, as it is based on how long our civilization has been sending out signals into space, a period of just 100 years so far. Conselice added that our civilization would need to survive at least another 6,120 years for a two-way communication. They would be quite far away, he says. Some 17,000 light years is our calculation for the closest one. If we do find things closer, he said, then that would be a good indication that the lifespan of communicating civilizations is much longer than 100 or even a few hundred years. That an intelligent civilization can last for thousands or even millions of years. The more we find nearby, the better it looks for the long-term survival of our own earthbound civilization. Val Landi signing off. Thank you, and please click on the subscribe button and visit me at dailygalaxy.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you.